Once upon a time, there was a little railway, known as the Northwestern. The smallest engine working on the line was Thomas. He had 6 small wheels, a short stumpy funnel, a short stumpy boiler, and a short stumpy dome. He was a fussy and cheeky little engine. Ever since he had come to the railway, he had only shunted trains and brought them to their proper places. He didn't much like it in the yards, and he often made a mess. Thomas tried his best and worked as hard as he could, but he longed for much more. "Please, sir," Thomas asked one day, "can't I pull trains too? There's only so many trucks and coaches here. I want to see what the other engines see, sir. The world, sir." The fat engineer knew Thomas's antics like the back of his hat, but he was very kind.
"Your spirit is admirable," he began. "However, I'm afraid you just need time. With enough time in the yards, you'll find your chance. And you'll learn how to not make mistakes like putting flatbeds where engines go." "And remember, tank engine," a silly director interrupted, "you're not exactly one of ours. Your real railway down south must be looking all over for you. We cannot let them, or the Admiralty for that matter, see you jaunting down our main line like you belong. Staying behind the curtain is for your own good. Preferably, you stay there without mishap."
Thomas didn't know who the silly director was, but he tried to understand what the fat engineer had said. Unfortunately, the engines at the big shed were more like the silly director. "Don't take any notice of him," Thomas heard them say to each other. "All you'd see is him causing grief to another coach. If you're lucky, it'll only be a truck of coal." Their chatter made Thomas very sad. "It's not my fault," he grumbled in his shed. "Well, I don't mean for it to be. The fat engineer did say I need time to learn about my mistakes. I am trying to learn. That must count for something." Thomas gazed into the dark station yard. No one was there to hear him, and the wind didn't carry his voice anywhere else. "Tomorrow," Thomas muttered, "I'll just have to learn even harder, if I can." Secretly, he wondered if anyone would be able to tell. Next day, Thomas puffed carefully about the yard. He had to arrange a supply train for the other end of the line. The trucks came along easily, and soon Thomas had proudly finished his work. "Hurry along, lazy bones," he called to the goods engine. "If you want to sit around all day, perhaps I ought to take your train." The engine didn't reply as they began to move. "You know," Thomas went on, "I wouldn't mind taking it. A long run sounds brilliant. People waving to you, your coaches gliding behind, your wheels blurring." "Whoosh!" hissed the engine crossly. Thomas was abashed. "Yes," he replied, "you're right. I suppose I have never pulled a train before, but I'll figure it out." Before Thomas could finish, the engines snorted off. Their trucks clattered out of Thomas's sight, off on their long journey across the island. "Pooh!" Thomas scoffed. Lousy big thing! Fire and Smoke, that wasn't a very clever name for them. I'll have to think of something better. I wonder what? Thomas was so distracted, he forgot to keep being careful. Bust my buffers, puffed Thomas. I can't stay to clean that. There's some, coaches. Coaches, I must get to the station. So he did.
I say, Thomas,
Smiled the brake coach as Thomas brought her train in.
you're being very smooth with us today.
Do you think so? Cried Thomas. Oh, of course I am. Once everyone else sees so too, they'll let me join you out on the main line. You wait and see.
I wouldn't get too hasty,
The coach pointed out.
It takes time for a lesson to settle in.
That's what the fat engineer said too, Thomas complained. I've been here long enough. I'm a better engine than I was 15 minutes ago. My actions reflect that perfectly. Hold on! Come back! Don't you want to push? How can I push if you're pulling away? Thomas rushed forward.
Clattering carriages!
Yelped the coach.
Be gentle! Be gentle!
Thomas gulped. He thought he had already learnt to be that. When Thomas went back, he saw someone on the platform. Oh, dearie me! It's the fat engineer! He must have heard about my mistake with that van. What if he saw me bump into that kind coach, too? I best hurry before he calls me over. Oh, run away! Run away!
Thomas!
Never mind, go back! Go back! He'll be more cross if I don't go back. The fat engineer told Thomas, once he could, to help put things right. Using something his driver called a crane, Thomas put the van back on the rails. Phew, he mused. The fat engineer will be pleased when he sees the yard now. That crane thing is clever, but it wouldn't be any good if it wasn't handled by a clever tank engine. I'm sorry to say, Thomas wasn't as clever as he thought. Perhaps even the directors will come and see me. They'll finally know no one works as hard as I do. If I keep everything this clean, they'll finally give me a real train to... Whoa, look out! Cinders and ashes! I'm sorry. Are you alright? I didn't bash your buffers, did I? Oh, the fat engineer will be cross. First a van, then that kind coach, next the workers' coach, and nearly an engine. An engine not from our shed. Who are you? I've come over your bridge with some trucks. I was looking for coal and water. You must be the station pilot. Huh! I wish I wasn't! Oh, even so, there's a reason I am. Hurtling into things the second I meet a new engine. That's not right of me. It was about what I was told to expect. I guess that's something for you to work on tomorrow. Ugh, but it's always tomorrow! I know that I do things wrong. I say I'll figure it out the day after. But I can't help doing it all over again. There's never enough time to stop myself from causing a karma, what was it?
A calamity, Thomas?
Yes, causing just that, sir. Mr. Topham Hatt, sir. I could explain what's behind me.
I'm aware enough as is, Thomas. Your effort today isn't unnoticed, but you've still a lot to learn in the yard. You must stop getting distracted by your thoughts before your chance to see the world.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Excuse me, are you the one who brought the train from the neighboring railway?
That's right, sir. Apologies for my late arrival. I struggled building up steam.
Never mind. I'm glad you made it all the same. I do have a favor to ask, though. There has been a report of buckled tracks down our line. Have you the time to take some more supplies and workers there to sort it out?
Yes, sir. I don't think my railway was expecting me back tonight anyway.
I see. Thank you. I had hoped that the coach there could be put on the train, but it is, out of order. Thomas, please find another one and arrange the train. Then you'll have plenty of time to put the sidings right again.
Yes, sir. I'll be faster than the express, sir.
That sounds promising. Good evening to you both.
I'll go hunt around for a coach. You'd best fill up on coal and water. Then you can take your train on your long journey. All across the island with no one to stop you. You'll probably see all sorts of big stations and hills and tunnels and... Thomas, wait! That person in the top hat. He called you Thomas, right? Of course! What else would he call me? He mentioned something about you seeing the world, Thomas. It's been my dream ever since I arrived. But everyone says I need more time back here. None of them think I'm fit to be seen, especially not those silly directors. Perhaps I never will be fit for it. You know, I'm still rather short of steam. I won't be able to take a whole train by myself. Oh dear, you'd better ask another engine to help. What? Me? Out on the main line? I couldn't. I'm not ready. Everyone knows I'm not ready. They want me here for a reason. I'm not built for this, but I think I know how you feel. It's distressing for others to see the worst of you. It can feel like that's all you have to give, despite everything you try, and it might make you scared to try. You might get it wrong again, no matter your effort. That's why this chance you're looking for, if you really want it, then it must be something you take now, whether you're ready or not. It can't be! It's like the fat engineer said, I have to figure out the yard first, however long that'll take. Me grabbing the chance now will only cause trouble. Trouble does sound to follow you. Perhaps you do need to stay and better yourself. Though, even with all the time in the world, time is on a constant move. You might need to take this chance to move with it. Getting stuck where you are will get you nowhere. A step forward, a step out is what you need, even if you continue to blunder. No one else may see you take that step, but you will feel it. That little coach should suffice for our train. Let's leave as soon as we can.
But what if... Yes? What if I bump into you? I'd be shocked if you didn't. And if I go past a red signal? Just try not to. And what if the fat engineer hears I took a train? I won't tell him if you don't. Bust my boiler! I never knew the main line was so huge! Is this the sort of trip you big engines make every day? Supposedly, yes. This island's not like anything I've seen before, though. Remember, Thomas, you're leading the train. Focus on where you're headed now. Don't worry, don't fuss. I'm fine. Come along. Look! It's snowing! Cinders and ashes! Drivers told me about the snow stuff. I hardly noticed it started. Oh, what a first train this has been. Do you know how long it'll last? There was a whistle board back there, Thomas. Whistle? Oh, yes, sorry. Ooh, I've never slept in the big shed before. The main line's lovely, but this is the perfect place to rest my wheels after that adventure. And the, second cleanup, too. Thank you. What for? For inviting me. For being with me. For that chance outside the station yard. I wouldn't have had the strength for that train alone. It was only the sensible option. You big engines say the strangest things. Big engines? No one back on my railways ever called me a big engine before. Well, you're certainly bigger than me. But I suppose a big engine wouldn't listen to a tank engine, so you can't be like all of them. There certainly is a gap, yes. I never got your name! That's terribly rude. What is your name? I'm usually called by my number. 34. You don't have a name? How could you not have a name? Does my number not work? Don't be daft, it certainly doesn't. Right, I'll call you... Edward. Edward? Why Edward? It was the first name that came to my smoke box. No, I mean... Why give me a name? You won't have much time to use it. I'll be back over your bridge sooner or later. Oh, come on! You must stay a little longer, even if time is on a constant move. Besides, seeing the world's no fun if I don't have someone to see it with. Anyway, it's time I got some sleep. I've plenty to do tomorrow. Until then... Good night, Edward. You can't be asleep already. He sleep whistles. Of course he sleep whistles. Seeing the world, huh? Must be a nice dream. Having such ambition in spite of your odds is remarkable. You're up against the vast world you want to see. It barely knows you exist, and some think that ought not to change. Nevertheless, you stay determined. And you think I'm the strange one. Still, your dream, it makes me tempted to see what chances you take tomorrow. Thomas the Tank Engine.